Some of the finest wake surfing boards you can find anywhere in the world are manufactured right here in the Okanagan. In fact, Kelowna on Jim Bailey Road, the home of the Kanuk Board Company.
We're a Canadian company. A lot of our earliest riders were Canadian athletes, mostly in Western Canada. We didn't think that this would be a company that would be, loved worldwide in 46 different countries. So it's important to us that we develop everything here, that we do our research and development here in Kelowna. Our Canadian riders are still killing it out there, but we've got riders from all over the world. And we try to build our boards differently. And we kind of do it the hard way with our graphics and how much effort we spend on our graphics. And then all the boards are like super performance. So we want to be known as not just the best looking board, but like the best performing board.
46 countries they're sold in.
Yes, yeah.
How many boards are you putting out?
Thousands of boards a year. And we've traveled around the world as well. We just did a lap where we go to a lot of competitions because, that's where we spend a lot of our focus is on those competitive riders. But we just came back from Japan, Hong Kong, China, Macau, Thailand, Singapore, Dubai, of course, the United States. We were in Europe a couple times this year. We just got Australia and New Zealand, which I'm really excited about. And we've got countries that I didn't even know were countries like Cyprus where we're shipping boards to. So we didn't know that we get this big.
And just looking at your boards, there's some of them are edgy. They're so much fun. You've got that little bit of space, and you guys don't waste any of it with the artwork.
I'm an old skateboarder, snowboarder, an ocean surfer, and it was really important to me that we spent a lot of time on the graphics. For instance, one of the artists that did some work for us last year had also done Tony Hawk's board, and he had done a lot of those skateboarders that, were heroes to me back in the day. And then we worked with local artists like Mark Kowalchuk. Mark works for a lot of snowboarders and skateboarders, and so he's done some, hand-drawn pieces for us as well. There's some local artists here in the valley that have done some great work for us, and everything's hand-drawn, so it's not easy to come up with the ideas for one thing, and then it's not easy to get all these talented artists to help us out. But if you ever see a Kanuk board, it's going to have a graphic that pops, and we want to have probably 9 to 12 of those boards in market at all times on every year, so it's a lot of work. Yeah.
And it's just always changing.
Always changing. Yeah, I'm already working in my head on 2025's lineup. We're already building boards for 2024, of course, but it's a never-ending proposition. The fact that we can make a 2025 board right here in Kelowna, we can make that right today, kind of test it out with the market a little bit, test it out with the rider, see hey, is this going to be something that people want? Is this going to be something that people don't want? And then we can kind of go back to the drawing board. But we usually don't have to because we're very collaborative with our riders. Our riders are all really stylistic people as well, too. So it's kind of the funnest part of the job is to come up with the graphic sets every year.
What do you think about what you've been able to build as a family here in terms of this business? What do you think?
Well, it was like a big dream at the time. That's kind of turned into our reality. I had no idea that this was going to happen in our lives. It went from something that we did as a family, like competing wise, and now it's something that we do as a family, as a business, and it's probably the coolest job ever for all of us.
Yeah. How do you feel if you just see some stranger and they're walking along and it's like, yeah, they got a Kanuk board?
It's still like weird. It's weird. Like when I go and like surf on other people's boats and they have Kanuk boards, I'm like, it feels good because you're like, that's ours. And it's good to see that people are actually riding them and people actually want to ride our boards.
So if you were, just made these great boards, but weren't so involved in the sport, it would have been
I don't think you could do it. Yeah, we're a rider-based company. We're a family company or family business. All of our pro riders are, I guess, employees of the business because they market their own models. They market all of the boards. And it's important to me that we keep it real and it's like rider focused.
And you're going to know right away if a board is really popular or if a design kind of isn't. Right now.
Yeah, because we're able to test it with the rider. Again, the rider, they're younger people, right? They're kind of in their teens and in their 20s, maybe a little bit older. I come up with a lot of ideas too because, I come back to the skateboarding of the 70s, 80s, 90s, the snowboarding of the 80s and 90s. And a lot of people don't remember that those sports were very, new sports at those times, but they're now both Olympic sports. I don't know where the sport's going to go, but we're trying to push the boundaries.
Yeah. So how many people do you employ here in your, I guess this is technically Kelowna, but kind of lake country?
Yeah, it's like right on the boundary. And I love that because our home lake is just a couple kilometers down at Wood Lake. We employ 8 people. and some of them full-time, some of them part-time. My entire family works in the business, so my wife and I. And
Yeah, go upstairs. There's your wife. There's your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter's here. She's a pro rider. She did great this year. And then in the off season, which is now, she works behind the computer doing a lot of the finances and the sales and the website and all that great stuff. So she's been a great help. Our son is in university out on the island at UVic, but he's also doing a lot of the graphics as well. And we do customized boards. He does a lot of our customizations and stuff. So it's a family business, but everybody who's in our ecosystem, from the people who work in the shop here to the riders worldwide, we all consider it to be one big family. So
Thanks for telling us about it, Eric
you.
Anderson. And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.